Valiant fans, and welcome. This is Tyson Agler for the 2016 Spring Preview Special, and join me is head softball coach Dale Martin. Coach, how have the girls been looking so far this year?
Pretty good. We're very businesslike. They've done a wonderful job so far with Michelle and strength and conditioning. Something new this year, we worked a lot on a weekly basis with Dr. Pollock, who does a lot of sports psychology, and the girls are really coming together, with all those dimensions in place.
You bring back a lot of returners coming back for the Valiants for another go-around. Can you talk about the importance of bringing back so many players that have played in big games and have a few accolades with them and a few MAC Freedom all-conference team honors?
Yeah, well, experience is always helpful. It's something, where the older girls get to really give some insights into situations, things that have happened before, dealing with the in and out of, and day-to-day kind of practice and competition and all those kinds of things. So that's going to be important. I think the other part of it is that they really do a great job of bringing the culture with them from year to year. This is a team that expects a lot from themselves. They demand a lot from each other, and I think that's something that leadership will continue to bring.
Last year, your team went through a little bit of adversity with a lot of younger players having to step up and play some big roles and having some players that have changed positions. How do you feel that adversity has helped your team going into this season and going into the future?
Well, I think the first thing is that they've learned team first. They're willing to do whatever they need to do to help the team, and that was a big component. And I think the other part of it too is that, not that anyone wants to go through an injury, but I think what the kids that went through injuries last year learned a lot of, one, they learned gratitude. An understanding of what it felt like to have the game taken from them. And I think with that, it's created a situation where there's a certain level of urgency, making the most of every practice, making the most of every game. And I think that has been something that's, translated from player to player. And I think even players who didn't necessarily go to or experience those things understand that. The other part of it is the players who possibly got opportunities that initially weren't presented to them, they made the most of that. And I think, those growing periods for them, I think, is something that will help the overall team this year.
So, Coach, you've had a few weeks to work with the team and train them. Where would you say so far is the strength and strong point of this year's Valiant softball team?
Well, I think one, I think the girls are committed. I think that's a big part of it. I think they're also really cohesive as a team. They believe in one another. I think, that's going to be a big part of it. I think offensively, we're going to hit the ball pretty well. Pitching, it looks very solid in the sense of, we've got 4 different pitchers that, will be able to contribute at all different levels. And, I expect a lot from them. And defensively, although we're still a little rusty in the sense of, being indoors, I look forward to getting outside, and, I think that's where Florida's really going to help us out. We're going to be able to see the ball differently and, understand the speed of the game. And I expect our defense to rise to the occasion.
Any other areas where you're hoping maybe the Valiants can improve before your trip down to Florida and the regular season begins?
I don't know about before. I think one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is, one, getting into games. I mean, the girls have, done a great job getting through this grind of 6 weeks of practice. But I think that everybody's ready for games, and I think the games are going to be a good measure for us to see where we're at, what we need to work on, what our weaknesses are. My hope is that we face a little bit of adversity, so we see how we handle that and how we come together as a team. And that's sort of what Florida is about, is really trying to make that stuff, really try to go through those things early, so that way when we come back to conference play, we're ready for those.
So a lot of returners coming back. I'm sure the expectations have to be high once again for the Valiants this year. So what are you hoping Manhattanville can accomplish for the 2016 softball season?
Well, I mean, I know a lot of people talk about the conference awards and those kinds of things. My main concern right now is that we grow together as a team, and then on individual levels, that they continue to work at understanding themselves and their capabilities. I think that, once they do that, the goals they have set for themselves will be reached. I think that, but they do need to understand like what it is that drives them, what makes them want to get better on a daily basis, and those things are, going to lead to their aspirations. And I believe that, if they get to that level as individuals and have that clear understanding of their true capabilities, I think things are limitless.
Any other keys to the Valiants this year for recording their 19th and 20th conference title?
I think a lot of it is going to come down to how they all come together, who's going to step up in critical moments, how the freshmen respond. I think we have a lot of talent this year. We're excited about that. But it's also about the mental part of the game, and how do we transition? And I think if we can do that well and stay within ourselves and not press, but let the game come to us, we'll have the success that we want.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck this year.
Thank you very much.